Okay, so you can see here, this is where my previous toe pedal is, and this isn't the one that came on here. A more cheesier version came on here, but this is what I've been using, and I've been really happy with it. I actually, I like it, but it does flex a little bit. And also, when I put my foot on here, sometimes, you don't get your foot on all the way. You kind of get it over here, and it kind of, it makes it flex even more. And so I just wanted something more sturdy, and also something, if I decide to paddle, I can move this out of the way. I mean, I could technically move this out of the way if I really wanted to. You just lift up on here, and then I can push it out, push it further away. But then it gets in the way of my hatch here. So I wanted something a little more sleek, and shout out to Randy Reski, I believe that's how you say his name. He's a musician on YouTube, and I'll put his link down below. And so he plays guitar, but I got these pedals from him, and got these bearings, and the bearings here they're really nice and smooth, and they go on this quad bar here. And so you put the it only goes on one way here, so got to make sure you do it the right way. So once that goes on there, then it just slides very easy on there. It's very similar to like the Wizard system that's coming out. And so, but you got to do a little modifications. But these pedals, you can make them go out of the way. And so when this will be on there, I'll be able to fold them in like that, and then fold them out when I'm ready. So all I got to do right now, and this is a Lure 13.5 V2, and so what I need to do is I need to go ahead and drill out holes here and here. And so I'm gonna go ahead and drill these holes out. I'm gonna take this off, lay it on top of here, and drill those holes out real quick. And then we'll go ahead and put it on there, and then I'll show you what else has to be done. Okay, so I got the holes drilled. I'll put a washer, so that way, it doesn't, it just kind of, sits a little more flush on there. And obviously you can get more, bolts that are a little more flush. But I just wanted to make sure it's going to fit on there, and it is. So now what we can do is go ahead and put on this part. So one thing you want to make sure that you do with this is, you see how these spacers are smooth here, and underneath they're they're like bolts. Well, you want to make sure the smooth part is on top, otherwise you'll get a little bit of rubbing on that bottom part there. So get that put on here, holding the camera with one hand. So and so now that's on, and so now we can put our other bolts on here. And so I'll get this bolt bolted up here, and I'll come back in just a second. Okay, so now I got the two bolts on there with the washers, and you can see here that this can't come back. So anytime I'm trying to go left or right, and I go further with the other pedal, then it's not going to come off. And so you can see I also got this one put on there, and this one really slides nice. This one's a little tough, and so I'm going to loosen up these bolts here on a couple of these. You can just take this off and feel which ones are a little tough, and it's because the bolts just got tightened on there a little bit more. So but it still slides really nice. It's just not like this one, where this one comes up and it literally just wants to go down itself. And one thing you got to think about is, when you're sitting up in that chair, you have a bit of an angle, as you're coming down, and so you really want that angle right there. So if you're, these well nuts were previously installed in there, and they're installed in there for that same exact reason. But if you're going to put your own well nuts in there and make your own, holes for your rail, it'll definitely help to put that down at an angle. And so it's just much easier like that than if you were to have it flat. And but yeah, so that's going to be definitely beneficial. So now what we have to do is connect the pedals, the actual foot pegs, to that right there. All right, so I'm back. I got the sizes and everything that I need to attach this to the plate here, and I've already done this one here, and so you could see that it's mounted on there really nice, and it actually works really good, nice and smooth. Although I'm gonna grease up the bearings just so that way, you know, the grease inside, the oil inside helps displace the water and not cause issues. And it will work a little bit better too. But sometimes, like I said before, that these things just get a little bit tight, and you just gotta back them off a little bit, and then it'll roll a lot better. Probably would be good to put some Loctite on here, so I'll probably put just a tiny bit. I mean, these are nylon nuts, but you know, I'm not gonna really trust that. So, but this is the right side here, and so you can see, you know, as soon as you want to fold it away, you can just fold it away and push it up, and then, you know, it'll be in paddle mode basically. But so now, really all I have to do, let me go around the other side here. Jump a couple hoops. So now that all that has to be done with this is you just have to run this wire here. Probably gonna have to pull it out a little bit and make a loop to where it'll attach right there. Right there. And so once this thing is on there, you'll be good to go. Now, one thing I am just a tiny worried about is that bolt, about it rubbing on that bolt. And so I may have to end up making that bolt more flush, and then that'll take care of it. If not, then I'm just gonna attach it probably like right here. So that won't be a big deal either, because it'll just go around right there, and then no harm, no foul, good to go. So you got a couple options if it's gonna end up rubbing on that bolt, but first I would rather have it hooked right here, and then, you know, make this bolt more flush. So, but we'll see which one I decide to do. It's not really that big of a deal. So let's go back over there, and I'll show you what you need to attach this pedal to that plate there. Okay, so this is a 5/16 tap, and in order to drill the proper hole for this tap, you need the proper bit, and this is a Bosch size F bit, which ends up being a 17/64 bit. And so what you're going to do, it's really easy, and it works really well because this metal is really not that hard, but you're just going to drill a hole in the center there with your 17/64 bit, and then put in the tap, screw the tap into there, and then this right here will just spin freely and nicely. Once it is spinning freely and nicely on the tap, then you'll be good to go. And so you cut yourself a little piece of 5/16 all thread. So I just decided to do the all thread, and then I'm just going to put the Loctite on it. And the other one worked really well that way, but this is 5/16 here, and this will just have to be drilled to that. And then once this is screwed into there, there's enough sticking out to where you screw it right into there, and you're good to go. So I'm gonna go ahead and tap that, and then we'll put it together. Okie doke, so I got this attached. That 5/16 all thread is in there, and it's really tight up against there. I don't even see it coming out, but over time of you kind of pushing your foot on it and stuff like that, it could loosen up. And so I'm going to put a little bit of Loctite in there, because put it on here real quick. And again, remember to put it on with the smooth parts on top. And so you can see it just goes really nice. This one, it doesn't move as nice. It moves okay. And so I'm gonna end up loosening these a little bit more and putting some grease in there. But this one, it's really nice. I mean, it wants to roll down on its own. So pretty much done as far as you know, installing these to the pedal, the plate there, and getting them on there. So I think that from here on out, you guys will be able to, you know, do this yourself, and you don't need any further advice from me here. But if you do, put the, you know, question down below or whatever you want. If you notice, these videos are pretty raw. I don't do the whole jump in front of the camera and entertain type thing, although I got nothing wrong with people who do that. But I just wanted to make this simple for you guys. Okay, so that's going to be that. I got a few more things here that of some videos I'm going to show you guys, but right now I'm just going to go ahead and call this video. I do have to get that attached, so in some future videos you'll see it working, but it's pretty straightforward from here. I'm pretty sure that you guys are going to be able to do that no problem. Make sure you check out Yakrods, best rods in the industry in my opinion for kayaking. And yeah, so use my code. I'll put a code down below, Bass Angler 10 for 10% off. Tell them I sent you, and you guys catch some fish. Have a good day.